So hello guys, it's Max here from Daily Market Movements and welcome to another market outlook video where we're going to be analysing potential events which could cause volatility in the market moving from the 5th of June all the way through to the 9th. This week in terms of economic data, as you can see on your screens, we don't really have that much going on. We have of course the services PMI which takes place tomorrow just before the US markets open, and then after that we only really have the jobless claims on Friday. So I kind of see this as the calm before the storm being next week of course, where we have the CPI inflation reading, which is going to be very important. Then moving on to Wednesday, where we have the interest rate decision by the Federal Reserve. So that's going to be very important to keep an eye on, especially going into tomorrow's trading session where we get that services PMI. I want to see whether it's going to potentially sway the Fed's decision going into next week. Now, one thing that I'm going to be looking at going through to next week, so this is something that I will be keeping a very close eye on Friday, is the Fed's survey. So as you can see on your screens at this moment in time, a Fed hike by 0.25 basis points currently stands at a 25% probability. This is a survey taken by many investors across the globe, and that's very encouraging to see, especially if you own US equities. Of course, lower interest rates means higher equity prices. So right now is a 75% chance next week that we are not going to have an interest rate hike. So going into Friday, where we end this new trading week, so the 9th of June, I just want to make sure that this survey is still sitting at the same percentage levels. I don't want to see that 25% chance of a rate hike increase up to over 50%, because then that of course would then strain and put pressure on US equities. Now going into this week, let's just quickly jump into the S&P 500. The S&P 500 last week, we had a fantastic week, especially on Friday, where we rallied significantly and we ended the session, most importantly, near the session highs. Now we've clearly broken out of this $4,200 range, and it looks highly likely now that we go and test 4,325, which of course were the August swing highs back in 2022. Moving over to the Nasdaq 100, as you can see, we've already broken above August 2022 swing highs. So this is very encouraging. One thing I would be slightly concerned about here though in the Nasdaq 100 is that on the RSI we are now trading in overbought territory. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did have some short-term digestion here, where we perhaps have a minor 250 to 500 point pullback, and then eventually we then find buyers, which then offers us enough momentum to go and target 15,000. Now moving over to a Dow Jones 30, and I think this is probably one of the most important charts going into this new trading week. The Dow Jones 30 is broken out of its wedge pattern, and it looks highly likely that we're now going to go and trade back up towards the swing highs for the Dow Jones 30. And this is exactly what I want to see. So far this year, we have seen the market perform pretty well, right? The S&P 500 is up nearly double digits in terms of percentage points. But if you open the bonnet and you look at the mechanics of the market, it will paint a different picture. We've had a very narrow leadership group of stocks, the likes of Nvidia, which is up nearly 150% year to date. We have Meta, which is up over 100%. We have the likes of Apple, Microsoft, which of course have a very large ownership within the S&P 500. All these stocks are performing very well, and of course that is dragging the US stock market up along with it. But what I really would like to see over the coming weeks is a broadening out, where we see the likes of the financials start to pick up the slack when technology, let's say if it digests. Let's say that I am correct in my analysis that the Nasdaq 100 does need a minor 1 to 2 week pullback before we then trade higher. But what I would like to see when we have that minor pullback, can the likes of the financial names, the energy names, the discretionary names, the cyclical stocks start to pick up the slack and really broaden out this rally? Because I think that's going to be the key if we are to trade higher in the coming days and weeks ahead. And then just quickly moving over to crude oil, we did have an OPEC meeting earlier on this morning. We've had Saudi Arabia come out over the weekend, and they've basically announced that they are open to further production cuts. So of course that's going to likely cause a positive move in crude oil when we open going into this new week. I would expect to see crude oil perhaps trade up towards $74 to $75 a barrel. That's where the 50-day EMA sits, as you can see on your screen. Now this is an area where I would be looking to fade this rally in crude oil. I think that if we get to $75 a barrel, it will offer a fantastic selling opportunity where we can trade it back down towards $70. And then quickly jumping over to the gold markets, of course gold had a terrible close on Friday. We pretty much paired all the gains that did occur during the trading week, and we're now trading back near this 1950 area. That being said, I wouldn't mind buying it here, especially going into the open. Gold has found a lot of support around 1950 as of recent, and we have seen these very sharp moves higher up towards 1975 to 1980. So that's a trade that I would potentially be placing going into the open. So that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the market outlook going into the new week. Guys, if anyone would like to join my free trading signal group, it's completely free of charge. There's no catches at all. If you would like to receive trades from myself as well as my daily market research, then it's really simple. All you have to do is scan this QR code on your screen. That will then take you to my website where you can then click join for free. It takes 10 seconds to sign up, and then before you know it, you'll be in my Telegram group chat receiving my own personal trades. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you all have a fantastic week, and most important of all, let's all make some money.